Hello, everybody. It's Puckin' Deep again. And we're with Ron at R&J Media. We got a couple topics we're going to talk about this week. We're going to be looking at some of the teams that are crushing more than we thought this year and why that may be, and maybe some other teams that aren't and why that might be. And the big topic up there in the land right now is Quinn Hughes. What's going on with Quinn Hughes in Vancouver and Vancouver as a whole? So lots of scuttlebutt going on there. I'm hearing we'll try to read into some of the things that he has publicly said, which is interesting, I suppose. But here we are. This is Ron from R&J Media. Ron, how you doing, my friend?
Great, my man.
Like usual, always with me, my co-hosting with me. How is R&J Media treating you? What's going on there in that land?
Rocking and rolling, brother. Rocking and rolling. Great to be here. Thank you very much. Puck in deep, because we know puck. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. You got to hop on over there to Ice Guys and check out everything that they're doing. You got to hop on over there to the Perlo and Rico's live that they do late night. You got to go check that out. Those guys, man, they get you all the information you need for all the parlays, all the bets, everything you need to do. Got to go check them out for sure. All right.
Yes.
So all the great stuff that's going on at R&J Media. We just did Rocco Pelosi. We interviewed him playing for the National Team Development Program. Yep,
Right
he's
on.
a 2027 NHL draft prospect. And yeah, we're going to probably have a couple more players from there because we interviewed now he's playing with the U17 team. Okay. And but we've interviewed already Mikey Burchild. He's playing for the U18 team. And then we've also interviewed Tynan Lawrence, who's playing for the USHL's Lumberjacks. So yeah, we're doing a lot of great prospect talking about prospects. The CHL and the USHL did their prospect challenge, and the USHL just surprisingly won both games. Was like, all right, cool. And we got World Juniors starting up here directly. The team rosters are being announced. Or have been announced for the IIHF and the World Junior Championships. That's going to be awesome. So, I mean, and then, oh my gosh, what's going on in the NHL? Dude, you got a Colorado team who's basically just told the NHL, hold my beer.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Olympics, schmimpics, they don't care, right? They clearly do not care. They actually have some goaltending, and Landeskog has been just playing up to form. He's getting his hands back. You know what I mean? You got Cale Makar, who's been playing pretty lights out, and the leading scorer of the league with 24. Is he at 24 pots right now?
Yeah.
Dang. All right.
Yeah, they are.
Colorado blowing it up.
Yeah, man. I have a feeling, I have a theory about this. There's a couple things, but I think every team had a plan going into the season, and they may have to change it along the way as we talk about other teams. But it certainly appears that Colorado's plan here was to just slaughter the league, and then maybe at the 20-game mark we'll take a break. But I think there's something more to this. Yeah. McKinnon is I think to McKinnon is a guy who is very vocal about his conditioning, about how he plays, how he takes care of himself, and how the team takes care of himself. And I think he saw this. I think he saw this condensed schedule and said, "Bring it on, bring it on."
That
and he told all the guys. He told all the guys, "Start listening to me this season, because we're going to slaughter the league, because we're going to be the most well-conditioned athletes in the league this year. And then we can take a break later. I think this is what he's doing. He's just saying, you know what? Shortened schedule, that's nothing, dude. I'm a machine. We're a machine. We can do it. All of you guys that left here and were complaining, because there's people that were complaining about how McKinnon would bug them because they were eating sugar, they were doing this.
Yeah.
You would literally get mad about it. And he'd say, all you guys that left, go, have fun. And now you see what you can be if you build yourself as a machine. And I think that's part of the reason why Colorado is starting off so well like this and doing it on purpose. And then, he gets the Olympics and he's going to come back and maybe take a break later on in the season. But it seems to be their plan right now, because they are the best defensive team in the league. They're the best offensive team in the league. They're the best pretty much everything. If there was a award ceremony, like, it would just might as well have it in Colorado. Might as well change the venue to Colorado.
So that's one team that clearly had a plan going into the season, and they're clearly sticking to that plan. Right? Yeah. Now, a team that had a plan going into the season, and they're now thinking about plan B, would be Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
And with the rumor now of the fact that they're so very much at the bottom of the charts and things of that nature now, and you brought it up at the very beginning of the show, and let's dive deep into that now. So the Quinn Hughes and his name being tied to the New Jersey Devils, maybe. And he even came out and said that, like what any player would say in his position, quote unquote, these conversations are going to happen and I'm not going to be part of them. And that's just the way it is, right? What are you supposed to say at that point? Hey, they're going to trade me to such and such a team on such and such a date, and this is what's going to happen. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, right? And I did a little research because I wanted to see what the whole schmagiggle was with Quinn Hughes. He comes with $7.8 million price tag.
Yeah.
So you can't just go, all right, we'll trade to you. No, you got to take that into consideration. What other teams out there that could potentially take that kind of salary would have to be also in the mix, wouldn't you think? Or do you think it's just either New Jersey or nothing?
I think in the end, New Jersey will get him.
You think that's what's going on?
What I was just checking here. I think in the end, New Jersey will get him. Well, let's just look at it like Quinn Hughes' agent. I mean, it's. I think if you look at Quinn Hughes when he's playing right now, he looks very frustrated. He does. He looks very frustrated. And the question asked to him about it, he said, these conversations are going to happen and I'm not going to be part of it. What he didn't say was, I love Vancouver. I want to stay here. And that's it. That's what a guy says when he wants to put rumors to rest. I love Vancouver. I want to stay here. And I hope that's the case. You could just say that, and if it doesn't happen, well, okay. I mean, but you have a no trade clause, so you're going to have to agree to it. But it doesn't matter. He could say that. The fact is, he didn't say that. And yes, he's got the $7 million contract, and New Jersey is going to have to work out some sort of a deal. I think what New Jersey's doing is they're basically saying the longer you take, the less you're getting back. And what Vancouver is doing is calling bull on that and saying, this is what we want. And that's the way it's going to be. It would seem apparent that Dougie Hamilton would have to be part of the deal, but Dougie Hamilton has an no movement clause in his contract. So That would be very difficult. I know they'll be going after Nemec, and New Jersey's made it quite clear that they don't want to they don't want to have Nemec part of the deal at all. So I think what'll have to happen here is a third team will have to get involved in this deal, and to make up room there for like maybe ask Hamilton, like, where would you like to go? You're getting older. Is there any team out there that you would like to go to? Work out a deal for Hamilton to go there. They need to get I know Vancouver's going to want a center back in return for sure.
Because they need to be able to clear the space there to get him.
Right.
That's what you're saying, right?
They need to clear the space. Unless Hamilton says, I'll go to Vancouver, and then you work out a deal around Hamilton, and then that's pretty much it. But if more than likely, they're going to say, look, we're bringing him in. He's going to be our number one guy. You're making $9 million a year. Can we'd really think that it's best that you could, we'll try to make it best for you, and we'll try to move you someplace that it's going to be a very complicated trade. That's the whole thing. That's the problem here. I think more than anything, I think if it wasn't a complicated trade, I have a feeling he'd be gone. He'd already be traded now to New Jersey.
There's 6 points now out of first place. They're 3 points out of a wild card spot, or 1 point out of a wild card spot right now. But they're 6 points out of first place.
Right.
At one point, they were one of the top teams in the conference.
Yeah. They've had a whole bunch of stuff happen there.
I was just going to say they've had a lot of injuries and stuff happen going on and stuff like that too. So this absolutely makes sense, especially with some of the injuries that they've had, that they would be wanting to try to bring this guy in.
New Jersey? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, New Jersey.
And early too, yeah. Another thing you got to remember is Quinn Hughes has a no movement clause. So he can quite simply say, I'm going to New Jersey or nothing. And that's likely what he's saying. So the deal is probably going to have to be with New Jersey. I would if I were him. I'm going to go play with my brothers, or I'm not waiving my no movement clause, and I'll go when my contract's up and go play with my brothers. So you better work out a deal with New Jersey. And I don't think that New Jersey deal is going to. So New Jersey's sitting there saying, we're not giving you like Nemec. What are you talking about? We'll just wait until Quinn's ready. I mean, it's a bonus to have him early. We love to have him early. We can make a deal with you that makes sense for everybody. That will never make sense to you because you're never going to win that trade.
Right.
But okay, they've got all the power in the world there.
That's true.
New Jersey. Vancouver has basically no leverage whatsoever because they could lose him for nothing.
That's true. That's exactly true. So there you have it. Yeah. So if anything happens, do you think it's going to happen sooner rather than later with the Quinn Hughes thing? Because like you said, New Jersey can wait. Like they can actually, they're in no rush. They can just be like, all right, we'll wait.
If New Jersey keeps on losing, the pressure gets more, and maybe they end up giving up a little more than what they were going to give up for them. But like you said, they got to work it under the cap, and I think that's going to be rather difficult. They're probably going to have to use a guy like Palat, and then a whole bunch of like Casey Seamus, first-round pick, stuff like that. Hope that Dougie Hamilton's willing to go there or something of that nature. And, but they're not going to give up the world. Anybody thinking you're getting – I saw a trade the other day from a media guy saying it starts with Meyer and Bratt. And I'm like, you think you're getting Meyer and Bratt in this trade? What are you – like,
whoa.
God, there's not a chance you're getting Meyer or Bratt even straight up in this trade at all, unless Vancouver's giving up more. You have no leverage whatsoever. You're dreaming. Why would you tell your fans that just to set them up for even more disappointment when what the return they get is, very lukewarm to not very good at all.
Okay, well,
Vancouver's in in a lot of trouble because then how you sign free agents after that once Quinn leaves, it's a mess there in Vancouver.
It does kind of appear that way, though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It does appear that way, doesn't it?
yeah. Alvin. This is his first general manager's job. I mean, he must be just pulling out his hair. What the heck? Pedersen is now injured again, and he was going through his. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention that too. I've said in the past, like what's going on with Pedersen and all this kind of stuff like that, and I've been a little bit maybe harsh in the Pedersen matter. He just had a miscarriage. His wife just had a miscarriage, and from what I understand, this is something that was a problem for the whole. It was a possibility through the whole pregnancy. So you can imagine the difficulties that man has been going through for the last little while. And then you had the Miller situation and stuff like that. So
wow.
I know you're watching the show, Mr. Elias Pettersson. Of course, why wouldn't you be? And I apologize.
But
so
everything came out okay. Birth was okay, and all that, or
no, it didn't come out okay.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just lost the baby. So yeah, it's tough, man. And so everything to you, my friend. That's
Prayers
harsh, and I can just imagine what you've been going through for the last year. So all of your difficulties and not being yourself and all that kind of stuff like that, totally understandable. And anybody out there that was slamming Pedersen and all that kind of stuff like that. And I have to say, I have fun here and I say that, but that I have, I like everybody should apologize. That is a difficult situation for sure.
Deep respect for somebody who is going through that, and dealing with something like that, no matter what profession you're in, whether you're a bricklayer, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're in IT or
whatever,
whatever you're a hockey player or whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Anything like that is always. It's never a good thing.
Everything goes. Hockey doesn't seem that important in situations like that, so I totally get that.
Right.
So, and then you got
that's what I was getting to.
His buddy Quinn, right?
Yeah.
Is now being traded. Like, oh my gosh, what a terrible situation there in Vancouver.
I hear you, man. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the show. Right. Appreciate you coming on.
We talked about Colorado. Now you mentioned before the show the Dallas Stars also crushing here in the beginning.
Dude, look, I utterly picked the Dallas Stars to take. Because I wasn't necessarily expecting Colorado to be quite as good, but I absolutely love what Dallas is doing. I absolutely love how Jason Robertson has just finally started to find his game, how Rupe Hintz is starting to find his game, how that team in Ottinger has been playing really, really well. I mean, you look at Dallas and they might have stumbled a little bit out of the gate, but my gosh, have they just been on a they're another one, Perlo. I think here, league, hold my beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? Come on, 20 wins? Like they just cranked them off.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. And there's games there where they're sort of taking it easy and winning too. Like
and there's games too where they're playing. They are, man. I agree. There's games there too where they're taking some time off.
they're not. Yeah, they're just sort of giving what you. They're giving what you give. And I got to give big props to the fellow that was in Edmonton and then was a head coach in Calgary. And I know that when he was hired by Dallas, there was a lot of people that were like, "Why they've given this guy another chance here with Gullickson?" And when he was in Edmonton, he actually did really. He was the defensive coach, and
Yeah,
it was a difficult thing there in Edmonton to be the defensive
it
coach at the
was.
time. And if you looked at their roster,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he improved it quite a bit. And this guy has come in and he's done a few things. Rantanen has never been one to worry about the D side of the game at all. In Colorado, he was getting kind of free reign to float around, and because he's so good offensively and stuff like that. And I wondered that in the beginning of the season is how much some of these guys are going to buy into Gullickson's type system. Who is a lot like Barry Trotz. Like he likes that. He's a lot like that way.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's a good
let me
comparison.
tell you, man, they've been shutting teams down quite a bit. And what if you notice with Dallas, they struggle a little bit in the first period sometimes.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see that change. But the reason why I think they do is Gullickson is saying in the first period, I want to see what we practiced clearly right away. And if you struggle with it, that's okay. I don't care. I just want to see it in the first period, and then I'll let you open up a little bit. But we talked about this before, right, Ron? What was Dallas has made it to the second round or to the Western Finals? What, 3 years in a row?
Almost, yeah, yeah.
And why did they lose all 3 times? They lost because of poor defense, especially in third periods. So Gullickson is now telling them, look, okay, you're a great team. You can win in the regular season. I'm going to show you how to win in the playoffs. So
I also think too that changing things a little bit in front of the goaltenders and giving the goaltenders a bit of a different look as well. You still have Ottinger in there, but he's not playing as many games.
yep.
You know what I mean? Like he's getting more of the, I'm gonna play the top tier teams, and then the back to backs is going to the backup, and the backup is playing really well. I mean, this is why I love Dallas, man. They have a really pretty decently deep team. They just put Jamie Benn on the IR, right?
He's back now. Just came back.
Oh, he just came back. Okay, there you go. Well, so there you go. Right.
He took him off the IR. Yeah.
Okay. But so they've dealt with some injuries, they've dealt with some adversity, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So it's like I said, man, I picked Dallas. That's who I picked to come out of the West is Dallas. Okay. And they're gonna have to play Colorado guaranteed. That's how that's gonna have to play out.
You would think so. Yeah, you would think so. Rantanen and McKinnon, the whole Rantanen and McKinnon thing. So that's going to be.
I want to see that some more. I want to see more of that.
Yeah,
I want to see more of that matchup. Okay, because I think that's a great matchup.
I've never picked Dallas to win a cup before, and I'm still heavy on Colorado right now. But this year is the first year where I got a feeling that maybe. The only thing is you still got those guys that fall off in the third round in Sagan and Duchesne. They're not the most well-conditioned. And Ben looks good now, but he's played some hard minutes. So I think you'll see at the deadline, maybe add some younger forwards if they can.
That would probably be good for them just to help with their age, because you need some more guys to play with Hintz. You need some more guys to play with Robertson. You need some more guys to play with them. You know what I mean? So I'm with you on that. But either way, it's slice it. I like Dallas or Colorado to come out of the West. Either way, I don't.
It's hard to pick another team that could right now. I mean, they seem like far and away the best of the bunch there.
Right.
LA, not really. I mean, Edmonton. I think we can talk about Edmonton a bit. They got an easy schedule coming up. They have an easy schedule coming up, and what's going to happen? I'm betting on Edmonton now. I took Edmonton to slaughter Winnipeg in that spot. They'll probably beat Buffalo real bad.
Well,
they got some teams now. They got a lot of home games. They got a lot of teams coming in tired in bad spots. And then everybody's going to be going, Edmonton is back. Edmonton is back. And I'm going to be like, any team would beat that team in that spot. It's not, that doesn't mean Edmonton is back. It just means they got an easier schedule now, and they're going to look a lot better, and things going to be fine.
And they got Hyman back.
They got Hyman back. That helps. He's
starting my gosh, that's huge. You can see that in their games, man. When the fact that he's in the game now, you can see that's a whole different team. That's a whole looking team now.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now you got another guy that you could put in there with Draisaitl or McDavid. Right. And that instantly makes them guys that much more dangerous.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. In the regular season, like I said, I didn't take them to miss the playoffs. I think they'll do it, but I'm still concerned about that depth in Edmonton when you're talking about playing against Dallas and Colorado. When they got like Chris Drury down there who's playing really well. Beautiful pickup of Olofsson in Colorado. They have Nichushkin on the third line right now. I mean, come on, buddy. Like, you want to compare that lineup with Edmonton's forward depth. Now we could see Edmonton find a goalie and a forward before the deadline or whatever, and you're talking about a totally different thing.
Don't necessarily count on that being the case.
It's going to be difficult.
I don't really know how much goaltending is going to be available.
Goaltending is going to be a tough one. I don't know. And if you can't, then, maybe Buffalo falls off. You can get an Alex Tuck, or you need some guys that can play in the neutral zone. They have too many guys that are overmatched in the neutral zone. People complain about their defense. If you're a defenseman and you have the other team's top forwards coming at you at 100 miles an hour through the neutral zone all game, I don't care what defenseman you are, you're going to have some troubles, man. You need to be able to slow teams down in the neutral zone. And Holzen and Savoy's going to be a good kid. But he hasn't learned how to do that sort of thing. Mangiapane used to, but he's getting too old now. That is the biggest problem that they have in Edmonton as far as I'm concerned. I even think that goaltending is not as much of a problem as that. So we'll see if that happens. But until then, what's going to happen this month is they're going to win a bunch of games, and everybody's going to say Edmonton is back.
Well, look, if you look at it, right, they're the top wild card. They're 13, 11, and 5, right, with 31 points. Okay. Now, of course, you're going up against the likes of Colorado, 48 points, and the Dallas Stars at 45. But the next team after that is Minnesota, 35, and then the Ducks have 37, right? So that's 6 points out of a lead in a division.
Yeah.
So as long as they stay within striking distance of that particular of the Anaheims, of the Knights, of the Kings, as long as they stay within striking distance of them, they'll be fine. You know what I mean? I got no problems with that.
They'll play LA again.
Yeah,
LA's got a terrible coach. He'll mess up the whole thing, and they'll end up beating them. They shouldn't have beat LA last year, but
we'll see.
All right, so I guess the final thing we were going to look at, I think, was, and a lot of people are talking about it. Florida Panthers, besides the last win against the Islanders, were in the bottom of the Atlantic last week. So I still think this is the surprise teams. Of course, they lose Barkov and stuff like that. But they look like they're getting their mojo back. Carter Verhaeghe has his baby. That's a theme this week, I guess. And he scored 4 goals or 5 goals in his last 5 games, or 4 goals in his last 5 games.
He's on a streak now, yeah.
He looks 100%.
Yeah.
He's flying out there. Sam Bennett's been putting up points all of a sudden. They just had to work out their lines and which way they were going to play. It took some adjustment to not playing with those guys. But I have a feeling you're going to see Florida go on a bit of a run here in this next little while. They'll still pick their spots. Once they get up, they're going to stay around close as long as they're close to the playoffs. And then Kachuk comes, and then after they're doing the opposite because they have to from Dallas and Colorado. They're kind of taking it easy now and not trying to put too much effort out, so they have more effort to put out after the Olympic break. That's the way I see it.
Let me say this in my observation of the Florida Panthers after watching, I don't know, quite a few games of Florida Panthers. One thing I will say is this. You can definitely notice they're missing Barkov. You can definitely notice they're missing Kachuk, but Marchand has been stepping up, and Bennett has been stepping up, and other players on the team have been stepping up to try to fill those voids. Right. But the one thing that I'm seeing kind of a little chink in the armor, if you will, is Bob. Yeah, Bob has had some not so very good games over the past little while. Yep. And look, everybody's entitled, and you can't take anything away from the guy. He's got his name on the cup twice. He's won the Vezina Trophy twice. What? He is by far, as far as I'm concerned, one of the best goalies of this era. Yeah. Okay. So this might be an off year for him.
Yeah.
Because his numbers aren't exactly stellar. His save percentage is not exactly stellar. His goals against is not exactly stellar. And his wins are not exactly stellar. Yeah. And watching him in game, he looks a little vulnerable to say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that has to do with the fact that Florida had all their new people playing with each other and getting the right combination to be able to play that 3-zone defensive game that they're known for. Right. And that's been, Bob is, when he was younger, was absolutely elite. People don't like to hear this, but I don't think he's elite. I don't think he's elite anymore. He's an above average number one, just above average number one with the team in front of them that is absolutely unbelievable defensively. And when they're not playing the way they normally can play, Bob looks like he's what he's looked like. He looks kind of average. So if they keep on playing like even against Columbus, they didn't play well defensively. Look at that game was like 7-6. And
what defense?
Bob's kind of out of sorts when the team's not playing the way that's kind of a team that everything links together. When everything is linking together and they're playing as a unit like they can, and they're adapting to the game and they're switching from 3-1-1 to 1-2-1 to full press, just give her, tire out the team, and how they do that. They tire out the team. And then they'll just go full press offense, and it's just bang, bang, shot, and they'll smoke you. But everything has to be working together. Without Barkov in there, it's much more difficult to do. I love Matthew Tkachuk, okay? But losing Matthew Tkachuk is one thing. Losing Barkov, to me, is a completely other thing altogether. That guy is the most underrated player in the league still today, even though he's won Selkies, even though he's done everything like that. I think he is he is the most underrated player in the game for his value to a team. He is absolutely awesome. And to lose him, it's a testament to some great coaching and some fine team play that they've been able to stay 500 and keep afloat here. I wouldn't be beating them up for it. You take McDavid out of Edmonton, where are they right now? You take McKinnon out of Colorado. They're not this record. They might be able to survive because they've got a deep team. But Normally you take one of those guys out of your lineup and you're going to be struggling. I'm probably
Well,
all
I
over
would
the
I
floor
would
this
say
time.
more I would say more of a comparison would be like, say, Pittsburgh. Like if you took Sidney Crosby away from
Oh,
Pittsburgh,
yeah, exactly. Good point.
that team would
Great point.
definitely be nothing.
Yeah,
So if you take a McKinnon away from Colorado, I agree. I don't think that's quite a
it's
hit. But
not
then if
not
you
make the playoffs level, but
but
it's
then
not.
if you take McKinnon and then say take McCarr,
Oh yeah, yeah,
because now look, I'm not putting Kachuk in the same hemisphere as McKinnon as far as offensive output.
yeah,
Okay. But being the emotional leader of the team and
yeah.
then also being
Spiritual
able
leader.
to and then also being able to pot some goals. I mean, at
Yeah.
least 20 goals a year, he's good for. He's good for at least 40 to 60 points a season,
Oh,
right?
he's more like 70. And now he's kind of gone to the 50, 60 because he doesn't care about the regular season anymore. But yeah,
Okay, right. So you get what I'm saying, right? Still a productive player, but
no.
he's more of that emotional leader. He's more of that guy that's going to be on your penalty kill. He's going to be more of that guy that's going to play in all situations. The same thing with Barkov, although Barkov is a much more, like you said, Perlo, surgical strike as far as missing that key
Oh,
component of that
absolutely.
team because how he plays penalty kill, a power play, 5-on-5. He plays in all situations and he slows the game down when the puck comes to his stick.
He's
Right? Come
incredible.
on.
He's incredible.
Right.
One of the best
The
defensive centers I've ever seen in my life. Can still
hello.
put up a point, shut down the other team's top guy like it's like nothing. He's an incredible player. Just
Exactly.
unbelievable. But
Exactly. There's a
all right,
reason why
my
he's got his
friends.
name on the puck, his name on the cup quite a few times now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, all right, my friends. You can go back and check out our Quinn Hughes trade talk and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
So
man. Good stuff.
but this has been Puck In Deep, and this is RNJ Media. Ron, who has asked me to help to be on this show with him with RNJ Media, and I truly do appreciate it. And I think
Yeah,
we
man.
just smacked another good one right out of the park.
I think
Ron,
so too. Oh
thank you
yeah.
for coming on, buddy. What's
Yeah,
going
brother.
on there with in the future for RNJ
So
Media and the other? We got several branches there, don't we?
yeah, man. So I got probably Lyle. I'm trying to line up Lyle again.
Sweet.
Our Yep, our good friend of the show, Lyle Richardson, from Specters Hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Got to go check that out for sure. For sure. I'm working him over for another show. Right. So like I said, man, we got some prospect games coming up here at the end of the month, for the World Junior Championships. And then of course the Olympics are coming up. So excuse me, all kinds of great stuff going on, all kinds of great hockey. Holy moly, there's a lot of hockey.
Yes, sir. There is for sure.
Sorry. Thank you all very much for watching us, though, man. We really appreciate it. We're going to try to keep doing this. If you want to, you can hop on over to X and catch me on RNJ_media. You can check out the YouTube channel. You can check out the website. Please hop on over to Perlo's Ice Guys. Got to go check them guys out,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And you also got to check out Perlo and Rico's live stream at night. Got to check
Yep.
them guys out too, man, for sure, for sure.
11 p. Eastern. I can see you tonight. Subscribe here, and we go over all the card for tomorrow, all the betting picks and stuff like that. And yeah, the Ice Guys, still voted on top of the best NHL podcast in North America. And I'm
There
fortunate
you go,
enough
man.
to be asked to
Check
be
that
on
out.
there Monday and Wednesdays. With this
Yeah.
Wednesday, I will not be on. It's they're having a recorded version. I guess that Ian has something he has to do. But normally Monday and Wednesdays, every night, almost every night at 11 o'clock, you can catch me on that. And that's it, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for listening to Puck In Deep, because we
Yeah,
know
man.
puck. Talk to you next week. Okay.
Enjoy the hockey.